Welcome back to Zalengam Media. The following documentary news is brought out using 2023 Pramot Singh quotes on X and how they apply in the present day. Zalengam Media used already available news and joined together to form a documentary-style news. All rights are given to original creators. FNCC banned on the Kuki Highway, the perfect stage. On July 18, 2025, the Foothills Naga Coordination Committee, FNCC, imposed an indefinite bond, blocking the traditional Kuki Highway through Kangpokpi and Churachandpur. The protest was publicly described as a peaceful assertion of Nagaland rights opposing unauthorized road construction, German and Tiger roads, and alleged Kuki-linked militant camps in ancestral Naga territory. Yet beneath the rhetoric lay a carefully orchestrated intervention by Meitei Strategistan operation using civic protest for political ends. The ideological trigger. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Pramot Singh, the Meitei Leepun leader, took to X, formerly Twitter, with a message that encapsulated his strategy in 2023. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like, for example, when the Meitei can no longer do anything against Kukis, Naga villages must be used as tools to fight for Meiteis. Their public statement from Ashang Kasar, Federation of Haomee, were strategic overture to Kacha Naga factions, inviting them to align against a shared adversary, the Kukis. Fake solidarity, real strategy. To support this tactical alignment, the Meitei civil society organization, Federation of Haomee, known for exclusionary campaigns against Kukis, quietly provided food, funds, and logistics to Kacha Naga groups engaged in the Bandh. These gestures, framed as inter-ethnic solidarity, effectively operationalized Singh's framing on the ground, turning Kacha Nagas into tactical allies. 1. Mobilizing via historical tensions. The Kacha Nagas, concentrated in northern hill areas, have long contested land and political influence with Kukis. Meitei strategists tapped into these historic tensions, offering rhetorical and material support that encouraged certain Kacha Naga factions to participate in protests that reinforced Meitei objectives, yet publicly appearing as independent Naga-led actions. 2. Combusting conflict for strategic gain. In the months leading up to the Bandh, Meitei-aligned actors reportedly fomented friction between Nagas and Kukis, spreading rumors of Kuki aggression in Naga villages, disseminating social media allegations of Kuki encroachment, undermining dialogue initiatives intended to patch inter-ethnic trust. These moves primed border communities for immediate escalation once the FNCC call to protest dropped. Strategic payoffs of Pramot Singh's doctrine. Singh's ideological framing delivered concrete benefits. 1. A transport blockade that crippled Kuki majority supply routes, inflicting hardship and reducing mobility. 2. Plausible deniability Meitei support was channeled via civil society, not overt leaders. 3. Narrative control. By aligning publicly with Naga protests, Meiteis positioned themselves as allies, masking their deeper agenda and rewriting the optics of conflict. A historical pattern. Temporary tactical alliances. This strategy is not unprecedented, rather, it revives a familiar colonial and post-colonial playbook of exploiting tribal fault lines. In the 1990s, Naga dominance in North Hill districts displaced many Kukis. Later, Meitei elites drove anti-Kuki sentiment in the valley while tactically co-opting tribal support. Today, Pramot Singh and Meitei Leepun are using Kacha Nagas as instruments to weaken Kukis with no intention of long-term partnership. The rhetoric of friendship is a temporary cloak for tribal instrumentalism. What happens after Kukis are weakened? A critical question emerges. Once Kukis are politically marginalized, who becomes the next enemy? If Meitei succeed in securing Scheduled Tribe (ST) status, they will gain legal rights to purchase land in tribal hills-on territory inhabited by both Nagas and Kukis. Several Kacha Naga civil society groups have already warned. Once the Kukis are sidelined, the Meiteis will shift their gaze onto us too. This demonstrates the transactional nature of the alliance. Fear, not shared interest, is the glue holding it together. Ground reality, consequences unfold. Justice delayed. Despite a purported 93% forensic match to Singh's voice in recordings allegedly inciting violence, no formal convictions have occurred. Manipur's chief minister did resign, and president's rule was declared, yet Singh remains publicly active and unaccountable. Impunity empowered. While thousands, especially Kukis, remain displaced and traumatized, Singh continues to speak freely. His social media and public presence remain influential with no visible legal restraint. Militia formation and civil defense. Kuki communities have established volunteer militias for protection. Naga elders express concern that their communities are being turned into foot soldiers in a Meitei stratagem that could backfire on them later. Humanitarian impact. Highway blockades have caused supply disruptions, shortages, price hikes, and service breakdowns in hill districts, many villages still lacking basic necessities and trauma relief. Meitei control, the endgame. Meitei political groups have accelerated advocacy for ST status, which would grant them access to tribal land ownership, job quotas, and political leverage. Their strategy to leverage tribal allies temporarily reflects an ambition to dominate valley politics and possibly expand into hill territory. Singh's rhetoric framed as defense of indigenous land serves to build broader consent among sympathetic tribes while preserving eventual Meitei supremacy. Fragility of the alliance. Historical precedent warns that such alliances rarely endure. Once the common target, Kukis, is weakened or neutralized, the logic dissolves and so do the alliances. The 1993 Naga-Kuki conflict remains a painful memory. Tribal unity can fracture irreparably once circumstances shift. Broader political landscape. Manipur governance remains frozen by ethnic tension. Central forces operate under Meitei favorable conditions, raising questions about impartial policing. Surrounding communities, e.g. Mizo, Chin, continue Zo solidarity with Kukis, resisting Meitei narratives of exclusion. Peace initiatives by Naga leaders like Ashang Kasar have stalled, citing Meitei provocations as precursors rather than aftermaths of conflict. How the quote fueled execution. It one. Strategic framing. Singh's quote became the public rationale for tribal alignment even as real controllers remained hidden. 2. Operational leverage. Haomee funding and logistic channels allowed Meiteis to steer protests indirectly. 3. Media influence. Meitei and sympathetic Naga outlets spun the narrative as unity, burying Meitei, originated destabilization. 4. Ethnic psychology. Singh's rhetoric resonated deeply, tapping into tribal fears and mobilizing identity-based solidarity toward a sustainable peace. To break this cycle, steps must include peace-building insulated from Meitei strategic rhetoric, relief and justice mechanisms delivered through neutral agencies, tribal dialogue forums led by federal or neutral mediators, not community partisans. Conclusion. A legacy written in rhetoric. Pramot Singh's "enemy of my enemy is my friend" has transcended slogan status. It has become a method of ethnic maneuvering, a way to wield the Kacha Nagas temporarily against the Kukis while sustaining Meitei dominance. But alliances born of fear and expediency seldom endure. Once the common threat is gone, the temporary comradeship also vanishes, leaving tribes exposed, mistrust deepened, and society fractured. Manipur now faces a choice: settle into cycles of betrayal and militia governance, or demand justice, dialogue, and true reconciliation. Disclaimer from Zalengam Media. This article is grounded in verified news reports, public records, tribal statements, and legal documentation up to July 2025. While we strive for accuracy, this narrative should not be read as a legal judgment, but as a journalistic analysis of unfolding events. All names and sources derive from credible public materials. Zalengam Media condemns ethnic hatred, violence, and agitation based on exclusion. We advocate peaceful, justice-based conflict resolution and equal civic rights in Manipur. Opinions expressed here are intended for public information. Readers are encouraged to research further and engage critically. 2025 Zalengam Media, all rights reserved.